Hello, everyone. This is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net. And, well, because the South Park discussion was a big hit, admittingly a mixed big hit, first of all, I definitely appreciate all the likes and dislikes. It's definitely weird to see just as many likes as dislikes. Like, oh, you have 96 likes, but 92 dislikes. Or I think now it's like 98 likes and 105 dislikes. Definitely a mixed reaction, but people did watch it, and well, uh, some of the people who said, I have no life, like I have nothing to do but better than talk about a show for 20 minutes. Guys, it's not that I don't have a life; it's just that life is really tough right now, and for better or worse, random YouTube talking videos kind of helps me cope, if you will, with what's going on. So, I'm gonna try it again. Maybe this one might not be as long as the South Park video, and it's about a different show altogether, as you probably figured from the title. But we're gonna be talking about season 14 of Family Guy. So, yeah, this probably won't require quite as much um, thought or intellectual probe because Family Guy, unlike South Park, has honestly never been much more than what it is. It's just a show that exists to tell a bunch of raunchy jokes and to hopefully make you laugh. And for many years, that's pretty much just what I took it as. They told jokes, I laughed. Can't say I cared about the characters. They were obviously a Simpsons clone. Obviously, everyone likes Stewie and Brian, and some people even like Quagmire, who I personally don't like, but I know why he's funny. I know why people think he's funny, but he's definitely not a character I personally like. But I don't know. But the thing is, now Family Guy has been around for some 15 years. It was on for 3 seasons before it got canceled again, and then it got brought back thanks to strong DVD sales. And Family Guy is now kind of at a point where I guess it's kind of like The Simpsons. It's trugging along, but it's not really doing anything new. Not that it had a lot of grand ambition in the first place. There was a time period where Family Guy tried tackling serious issues like abortion and domestic abuse. And it seemed like it was trying to tackle serious topics in a funny way, and it never really succeeded. So I know since season 14, they definitely scaled back on that quite a bit. So no more stories about being stuck in a house and basically admitting that people abuse you, but hey, you need to be abused because everyone needs a scapegoat. Now we have episodes where Peter and Quagmire get a cooking competition, or Stewie becomes friends with Tom Cruise, or the guys go to Koreatown and make a J-pop music video, which is the theme of this DVD. I noticed that the DVDs all highlight a certain episode. Like one season, they highlighted the death of a certain character that didn't last very long. Another one, well, I don't even remember what the themes are sometimes, but it speaks volumes that this was what they decided was going to sell season 14 DVDs. Like their highlighted episode was the Korean episode where they go to South Korea, make a J-pop video, and find the final episode of a sitcom Quagmire was on when he lived in South Korea. I don't know. Kind of a weird thing to base the packaging around, because they even have a special feature on there dedicated to talking about that episode. Like, why? I don't know. So, yeah. Family Guy. As I watch the season, I've noticed a couple things about season 14 that, it's definitely different from earlier seasons. One, it's not as funny. I don't know if Family Guy was ever the funniest show in the world, but it it provided laughs. They were cheap laughs, admittingly, but they were laughs. Now the show's not producing the laughs it used to, and during this season, I think above all, it's kind of dawning on me just how much I really am not liking the characters anymore. I mean, the characters were never nice per se, but they were at the very least naive, I guess. But Peter and Brian are especially, they feel more like villains now than they ever have before. They're always deliberately sabotaging their friends and family's success. They're very, very belittling. There's no innocence in or naivety in what they do. They do it willfully and maliciously. I'm getting really, really tired of Brian purposefully stealing other husbands' wives, and I mean, I have no idea if I'm feeling that way just because I'm having issues with a real life Brian myself, but the parallels are eerie, and I do. I'm really not liking Brian in the show anymore, and that's kind of a shame because he used to be one of the better ones. He always used to be the logical sense of and voice of reason, sensible voice of reason to the characters in A Sea of Idiots, and now he's just as big of an idiot, if not more so. So, and Peter, he's still an idiot, but several things he does are like so deliberate. Like there's an episode where he decides to do something nice for his friend Joe, who's the paraplegic, and call his dad so they can celebrate Father's Day with him. And Joe tells him that he's never talked to his dad in many years because he is paraplegic and his dad makes fun of paraplegic people. So they basically swap places and Peter pretends to be Joe. Now, this is where the, naiveness comes in. He thinks he's doing something right, and he's probably not, but he thinks he's doing something right, and the jokes are funny nonetheless. Then at the end of the couple-day trip, he invites Joe's dad to stay with him forever, and he's going to continue to be Joe forever because he never had a father figure, and he's going to appreciate that father figure. And what's Joe going to do about it? Because it's like, really, dude, this somewhat nice gesture, at least how it started out, is now a not very nice gesture, and it's deliberately cruel for that matter. And Family Guy has always had a hint of cruelness, but never to this extent. I mean, and when Peter, goes to cheer Quagmire on, who is auditioning to do a cooking show, and they'll make the show so long as Peter's the co-host. And of course, Peter's an idiot, and he's not a real cook, so he provides all the entertainment in the background, while Quagmire desperately tries to make a legitimate show. I mean, that's funny, but then when Peter threatens to walk, the network offers him a show, but there can only be one show, so they do a cook-off, and Peter doesn't even want to have a show. Never did. And he's ruining his friend's dream. Just, I don't know why. I mean, granted, this one, he actually does kind of turn around and give Quagmire a shot to have his dream back, but it's a pattern, and there's only so much I can forgive. Also, another thing about these DVDs that I've noticed, at least on this season, the DVDs have always been practical to own because you want to watch them whenever you can. Well, Family Guy's on all the time now, so there had to be another reason. For several years, like many years actually, the DVDs have contained the uncensored episodes. Because I think what the Family Guy writers do now is they just make it R-rated, and then they make the changes that they need to for broadcast, and then they release the uncut versions on the DVD, along with the TV version under special feature if you want to watch them. And usually this varies from there's some nudity that they had to censor out, or there's some language that they had to bleep out. But basically, when you watch the show on DVD, most of the time it's a very different version than what's on TV. Well, I've not noticed quite so many changes. I'm wondering if, because I mean the DVDs are obviously still selling because they're still making them, but I'm wondering if they're selling a lot less than they used to because, yeah, I'm not. They don't tweak the animation as much. There's not as many uncensored moments, and I'm just wondering if like now they're kind of been given a heads up, like, hey, you know what? Ratings are down, sales are down. Don't be doing anything that you have to drastically reanimate because we're gonna stop footing the bill for this. It's possible that's what's going on. I don't know. It's just it's a less value. I mean, one of the reasons I buy the DVDs is definitely to see the uncut versions, to see what was changed, and there's not a lot that's being changed. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because, I mean, yeah, I guess it means that when you watch on TV, you're largely getting what you're going to get on the DVD, but I don't know. So this is a problem with Family Guy. It's so nonsensical. There's no overarching story to discuss. No nothing. Everyone acts like jerks, and it starts again next week. It's clearly not as funny as it used to be. It's so clearly not as funny as it used to be. And I mean, there's even a Road to episode in this season, where they go to Pakistan, I believe. Is it Pakistan or is it India? Does it tell me? They do. Oh, India. Yeah, India. So it's India. And the Road to episodes are some of my favorite because, Brian and Sue's relationship is really good. I love how, with the exception of, I think, the German episode and the Las Vegas episode, there's always a musical number, which I like. And this one, it's like, well, the trip is entirely for selfish reasons, for something that is not going to work out, because Brian is not good with women. That's an in-joke to me. I'm sorry, guys. I know it doesn't make any sense to you. And they have a Bollywood-style musical number, but it's not like a real song that you can hum along to. It's like a spoof of a song, and it seemed like a lot less effort had gone into it, and I don't know why. Like, they always put more episodes and effort in the Road to episodes and not this one, so I'm tempted to stop watching Family Guy, to be honest. No one would blame me. It's not as good as it once was. I chuckle more than I actually laugh, and even when I chuckle, I only chuckle a little bit. Interestingly, American Dad is still very funny, but we're having issues with those DVDs, which maybe I'll talk about in another episode or another video. Who knows? But so this on the positive side, they're cheap. This is like cost $15. So, but it's losing its edge. Is season 14 a bust? I don't know. Compared to what? It's like it's probably just about as good as it's been the last 3 years. It's like DVDs has a few uncensored bits. That's the other thing. In recent years, they've actually been reanimating certain scenes, knowing that people will be watching them on DVD and not TV. But I don't see them doing that here. Maybe they just didn't need to, but it's worth noting. I'm still watching the show at the moment. But I don't know. I actually think Family Guy, like could use a shakeup like South Park. I don't like, not because I think they could actually do it. I don't know if Family Guy could tell a serialized story. I don't know if Family Guy could, make a season where they don't have cutaway gags and actually pull it off. But I'd like to see them try. I would like to see them actually try to do something different, because it's clear they're in a rut, and the only thing they're doing right now is they're just trying to see how unlikable they can make the characters. And the answer is they're making them pretty unlikable. I'm not sure if it's actually working. So, anyway, let's not drag this out anymore. I think it's pretty obvious that there's not much to talk about. Like I said, I'm mainly making these discussion videos just to kind of cope with some bad stuff that's happening, and talking about anything at this point is an improvement. So Anyway, have you seen season 14? I'd like to know what you thought of it, because that much could be interesting. So comment below and dislike if you disliked it, because I'll admit this is probably not the most exciting video on YouTube. Share, favorite, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one, and Merry Christmas.